Hello and welcome to another game of Dota 2. We are in the second game of this best of 3, and we see that Life is on the dire side this game, and they are one game behind on Terrible Damage, who are on the Radiant side this game. Terrible Damage able to win last game with a very strong showing of their Luna in the end, but the game being very even throughout the entirety of the game. So we're gonna see if there's gonna be a change in that, and if Life can come back and force out a third game. I think most people would like to see that, because these two teams seem to be very evenly matched, and they're not afraid to kill each other. They're not afraid to go and look for engagements, which is always something that is fun to see. We had one of the fastest drafts in the previous game. This game seems to be a little bit slower. Of course, once again, you are watching the EIZO Cup. This is the 7th edition, and we are in the semi-finals. The winner of this best of 3 will face up against the winner of Empire versus KP, which is the other best of 3 that's going on right now. You can watch that on JD Red if you want to do that. And the grand finals will be held after both the semi-finals are done. That's basically how it goes. And I have no co-caster for tonight, unfortunately for you, and unfortunately for me as well. But it happens. We've got ourselves a bit of standard bans. We've got ourselves a Lifestealer as well as Lifestealer IO and Batrider ban. Lifestealer, of course, I say it's not a standard ban, but it's a standard first pick up, first ban kind of hero. We saw him first picked up by Life in the previous game. We also still got Life banning out the Weaver, just like they did in the previous game. That's basically a respect ban to Jackal's Weaver, because it's a really scary Weaver that he plays. To be fair, Jackal's carries are normally very scary, as we saw him not dying at all until the 42nd minute of the game, which is quite impressive. This game, though, they have a bit of a different idea. At least they go for Naga Siren. In the previous game, we saw the Naga Siren on the side of Life. They actually run him duo mid. Lanes are going to be very interesting, because the lanes of Life were very interesting previous game. We've got Visage and Nature's Prophet picked up by Life, which is actually the exact two heroes that TTD picked up in their dire team in the previous game. We have a Chen picked up by TTD next to the Naga Siren. They can't pick up the Lifestealer, which was the hero that Life picked up instead of the Chen in the previous game, but Chen picked up, so that's going to be a general hero for TTD. Extra farm for them, if you want to look at it that way. And we already got a ban for the Dragon Knight, just like we saw in the previous game. Marana banned out. Now I have to say I'm quite surprised about that, because Marana was played by Life in the previous game. It's not really a hero that TTD often plays. I do believe they played it yesterday in one of the games, but no, they banned it out. Life doesn't want to play it themselves, and they don't want to deal with it either. Of course, I said it last game, I'm not really expecting Life to do this, but it is a possibility to have Nature's Prophet on a safe lane farming, or attempting to farm, and Visage on an aggressive tri lane with 2 others on the suicide lane. So it could be happening, and in that case, we're gonna have to see some strong support pickups. They ban out the Puck after the OD gets banned out by TTD. More mid heroes getting banned out with and the Puck and the OD and the Dragon Knight as well. And let's see what Life comes up with. So far, Life hasn't used any of the bonus time just yet. TTD has used some, only about 22 seconds though, which is really not that much. But let's see what kind of heroes Life will pick up, because Nature's Prophet and Visage, we saw what Life did in the previous game. They didn't give anything away of their lineup until the very last moment, and even then it was still quite tough to anticipate where they were going to go. Visage and Nature's Prophet, also 2 heroes that kind of keep everything open in terms of where you're going to go. The only thing that you do know is that probably neither of those is going to be on the mid lane, which is why TTD banned out mid lane heroes. And they pick up the Alchemist. It's a bit more characteristic for draft. So having that one as a hard carry could be an aggressive tri lane still. It's not really ideal, but it can happen. And the Gyro Copter picked up by TTD. So both teams picking up a solid carry. Of course, Naga Siren can be played as support, can be played as a carry. I'm gonna expect him to be played as support though, because a Gyrocopter and a Naga Siren, they actually work very well together. And they work very well together with a Chen as well. I'm not gonna expect an aggressive tri lane and would allow Chen to aggressive jungle. It can happen. But this is a very strong semi-trialing regardless, because you got yourself an ensnare to set things up. If you've got a Chen creep that can walk towards the target and stun like a centaur, or another ensnare with a troll if you're lucky, or an Ursa clap. And if you've got a gyrocopter that can move towards the target as well and just rock a barrage while the target cannot move anywhere. We've got a Beastmaster, picked up for life. Now Beastmaster is a hero that can go mid, can go off lane, can go solo lane, anywhere, basically.
Templar assassin.
I would like it to see if that Beastmaster is mid.
Dire team ban.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see him as a solo offlane with still a mid hero to be picked up, and they just profit in the jungle, and then a dual lane, Visage and Alchemist. It's not really the safest dual lane, but it could happen. Templar Assassin picked up by TTD.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
One of the former signature heroes of Tame Wild or Crazy. I say former signature heroes, but it used to be. He used to play it all the time. Hasn't been that much of highly valued pickup lately. Okay, unless it's up against Puck, basically. So, Bounty Hunter, last ban. And offlane is something that TTD still needs. And it looks like TTD is expecting Life to still go for a last support to complete a trial lane there. So Beastmaster made up against a TA. Should be a good lineup for TA. Beastmaster's gonna have a tough time there. But the thing about a Beastmaster mid is that in theory he should not die. And he's gonna wait until he's level 6. And when he is, he's gonna be killing things off. He's gonna be trying to get those ganks going with those roars.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Looking for the last pickup of Life. Both teams still have quite a long time if they want to take it in their bonus time. And they could of course use this time to not only think about their pickup, but also think about the pickup of their opponent team and how they're gonna lane it. How they are gonna lane their lanes, how TTD is gonna lane theirs, and just lane their heroes, I should say, probably. But just, tactical, not even a pause, just tactical time. So let's see, they're taking their time for it, for sure. I would have liked to see Vengeful Spirit. I mean, they're kind of lacking a disable. You can still go for a Leshrac or a Lina if you want it. I mean, Alchemist is, in theory, your setup disable with your Unstable Concoction is long enough for Leshrac or Lina to follow up on. But basically, that and the Roar are the only two disables that Life has. And that's not that much. In terms of disable for TTD though, I mean, they don't have that much either, don't get me wrong. They've got the Ensnare, the Song, which I don't really count as a disable. Chen Creeps, not really as a disable either. So TTD needs something with a disable as well, and preferably an offlaner with a disable. They go for Rattle Trap, Clockwork.
Dire team pick.
Rubik is a support still for Life, which allows them to have a lot more disables. I mean, not only Rubik, telekinesis of course, but also anything that he steals. It's gonna be, or if it's the disable, it's gonna be nice for him. But a Clockwork last pickup for TTD, I am not entirely convinced. I mean, their lineup is very good for team fights though, don't get me wrong. They've got brilliant disruption for the team fight of the opponent team. They've got a song to initiate. They've got a call down to set, and you can set it up with the song. And you've got a Hand of God to make sure you neglect any damage that the opponent team does in the meantime. Just basically start from scratch the moment that the song ends. And I mean, it's very strong, but disable wise, they're gonna just let Alchemist do his thing. If this Alchemist gets farm, which is by the way played by Link, who played the Lich in a previous game. If this Alchemist is gonna get his farm, and there's a very scary Alchemist because they can't really do too much to stop him from attacking you. Unless they get him locked in cogs, which is gonna be helping out, but in that case, Clockwork better hope that he has a Force Staff at that point, otherwise he's gonna be the target. Of course, let's go over the players, see who's playing what. So like I said, Link will play the Alchemist for Life on the Dire side for this game. We've got Fish Invasion, the one that played Mirana in the previous game. And I know a lot of you people don't know this guy. I didn't actually know this person either, but he is an old school player, used to play with Miguel and Angel. Also a Dane. Miguel and Angel, former SK Gaming, of course. It's been a while, but he is standing in for Calculus, basically. And he's playing the Visage this game. We're gonna have Crit playing the Rubik. As the Joe Rotten will be on the mid lane once again, this time on the Beastmaster with a Mohawk. Awesome. And on the bottom lane is the offlaner Noya, playing the Nature's Prophet this game. And already picked up some boots, so he's gonna assume that he's gonna stand here for a while. He's gonna be trying to be pulling the creep wave back. Jackal with a double damage rune though. It's very tough to get yourself a creep wave right now if that guy has a double damage rune. He does get the creep wave blocked, so that helps out. So he does get forced back by Always Wanna Fly. So let's see who's playing what on the side of terrible damage. Always Wanna Fly playing the Naga Siren support. Jackal will be playing the Gyrocopter. And it looks like we're gonna have a dual lane, as expected, a safe dual lane. Unfortunately for us, but makes a lot of sense. We've got Chen in the jungle, played by Weejazik. Already got himself a smoke picked up, so that means that he is gonna look for some action. If he finds a good creep, of course, because that's mandatory. He get himself a Centaur, which is probably one of the better ones to get, especially in combination with the Naga Siren. So if they find that Nature's Prophet is overextending, they can try to go on that. In the meantime, Tamar Wild will be up against Hester Joe, who will be playing the Templar Assassin. 5 for 3 already, as Hester Joe sitting on 3 for 2. 4 for 2, so fairly even so far. In the meantime, we might have a first blood on our hand. Mag won't be able to get away from this one, and will go down. First blood to Link. Mag on the Clockwork up against a tri-lane that he is going to be having a tough time dealing with, because there are 2 disables there, and of course he will have his cogs when he gets himself some more levels, but he actually got himself the Flare as the first level, which is not the most ideal one. Smoke up for TTD, and they're looking for Noya, and they will be able to find it as well. They know that he's standing right there, but the ping came out because Always Wanna Fly got scouted out. Chen did not get scouted out, but you know that there's not just one there if you see Naga Siren close by. So that means that the gank hereby failed. And Nature's Prophet, he could actually try to TP and just go into the jungle with it. In the meantime, Mag still level 1. He's gonna be struggling until he reaches level 2. At least with the cogs, he's able to get himself out of situations like that. I say that, and I do know that Rubik is one of the heroes that can actually make sure that you don't get away with your cogs, because you could get still picked up and put down on the other side of your own cogs, which is going to be quite terrible for you. But it is definitely something that will make him feel more safe, at least. Nature's Prophet, indeed, teleported to the jungle, knows that he can't really do too much though. Strian's already dying, and with him being away from the bottom lane, we'll be allowing the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane to die. In the meantime, Hester Joe 11 for 6, Tamar Wild 9 for 6. Hester Joe actually getting slightly ahead there. It was only 2. But every little bit helps. Fortification already used. Let's see if they're gonna try to do something here. Pings come out, but this tower is a goner. It's a very early tower. Very early bit of extra gold for everybody of TTD as well, though. You cannot underestimate that extra gold. Makes difference in lanes. Especially solo lanes, especially this mid lane. What's that cat? Oh, that's... Ah, is this Smeagol that's flying a Drodo? Can't carry his own weight. Ooh, Hester Joe might be in a little bit of trouble here. Tamar Wild still has a refraction on. Might look to dive this. One more melt hit might have done the trick if he had an extra side blades, but he didn't have the range. And Hester Joe, he doesn't have the regen, so he will be in a quite tough position until the courier comes back with his bottle. Which is gonna be soon. Fair enough. In the meantime, Smoke Up, Crit, and Fish looking for pickup on the Clockwork. They know exactly where he is though, they have got that ward. And they're just trying to make sure that their smoke does not get removed. And they're gonna go for it right now. In comes a slow, in comes a telekinesis, drop back, he does have cogs, locks himself in to get it with Crit. In comes a stun, but they won't be able to kill him off. Nice line of sight jukage. Fish, the tower is hitting you, Fish! Taken over by Crit, they get the kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Clockwork not able to survive. In the meantime, TTD, I mean, as long as they're not stopped, why not take another tower, right? Nature's Prophet, still level 3, not able to do anything against this, and has to still be careful because one ensnare, Centaur is still there. It's gonna still be troublesome for him. In the meantime, Hester Joe still cannot rotate either, still not level 6. Tamar Wild, level 5 as well, but he doesn't need to rotate. He doesn't need to be anywhere. There's no pressure applied to his team right now. That's a tier 2 dead as well. Now in theory you'd say, you know what, this creates extra space for Noya to farm. But that would only be the case if Jackal actually left and went to the jungle until the lane is pushed out again. But he actually doesn't leave. He knows he's quite safe. No rotations coming for him just yet. No TP up on Fish. We do have Crit though. at the base. He can pick up boots, also no TP for him, and he's actually walking back. Or right now towards the mid lane, but at least not towards the bottom lane. So Jackal's still safe for a while. Tema Wild with the double damage rune. Trap already goes. Has to Joe. He knows that the only thing he can do is TP out. Smart choice, otherwise he would be dead for sure. He has a roar though. I mean, him being forced to TP out is gonna allow him to try and make a play. He smokes up, he goes bottom, and he wants to find Jackal. Jackal knows that there is a Beastmaster missing from the map, however. But like I said, I mean, him being forced out could be giving him reason to think that he is still safe. In comes Crit from the sidelines. We'll go for a telekinesis. We'll allow Hesijo to get a range. In comes a roar, axes, and that should be amounting into a kill. Nicely done. Beastmaster with the last hit. 3 for 0 in favor of life. Jackal being the one to be put down. In the meantime, Visage goes down. That's a TA solo kill. Well, I say solo kill, but the flare helped out. Right around there. You can't really try to run from a TA. Level 7 versus level 3. That probably was a fast fight. Short fight. In the meantime, Mag got himself some boots. He actually got 6 last hits. You know, the life of an offlane Clockwork, trying to get as much levels as you can without dying. Of course, he already died twice, so I guess it's not helping out too well. It's not going too well, but still level 4. Not too bad. Joe got his roar up again in 20 seconds, but for now he should first be, well, maybe looking to try and make this lane a little bit more favorable for his team. Maybe try to kill off Tema Wild. With help of Crit. The roar is there. They could try to go for him. Tema Wild doesn't have enough mana for a refraction. Never mind, he just got enough again. Here he goes. It's an illusion only though. And the real one there as well. Never mind. Tema Wild does not want to take the chance. His refraction already used now though. Now he doesn't have enough mana. Now if there's a roar, they could be able to get a kill here maybe. If there's a TP in from someone else as well.
Oh no.
With Tema Wild being very careful. Not overextending his boundaries. Goldgraf going the way of TTD. Results of towers. Towers, towers, towers. And you know, assuming they have 2 towers down. Or not assuming, like, they have 2 towers down.
Regeneration.
They have more gold, they have more items. The reason why you take those towers down is because you then, you know, you get ahead and you stay ahead. That's like the whole idea. But they don't actually are not able to use their advantage all too well. At least they don't seem, there doesn't seem to be an advantage. In comes a Sprout, Mag in a lot of trouble. Telekinesis and killed off, slowed down. Still gets cogs off on Noya, and in comes Jackal. Cooldown gets dodged by Crit. He will be able to kill that Fish. No, Fish still lives. He is able to TP himself out. Jackal is the one to go down for the 2nd time this game. In comes Tema Wild, trying to make it right, trying to kill off Noya. Noya sprouts himself up, doesn't have a TP just yet though, and he gets trapped, and he gets killed off. Ooh, yeah, he gets killed off. Nature Prophet is still bouncing through, but 2 for 1 trade, still a good trade. Tema Wild, of course, getting 1 extra kill, but that is a kill that you get in return for getting the Gyrocopter, which is the most important one to kill off. And of course Clockwork, who died for the 3rd time this game.
Radiant's middle tower
Good fight, again, for life. It is 2 for 5 on the kill score. I mean, they did get 1, but in the end, Life getting himself another fight. And like I said, that gold difference that TTD created at the start of the game, nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen at all. Tema Wild's gonna be scary though. I'm kind of curious to see if he's going for a fast Desolator or a fast Blink Dagger. It's very personal favor kind of thing, personal preference. I do think that Tema Wild normally goes for Blink Dagger, but you never know. We work very nicely though. To just keep the aggression going. We know that's what he likes, and he's close to that Blink Dagger as well. Would be a very fast blink. I mean, it's only 10 minutes into the game. He's already got phase boots, magic wand as well. In the meantime, I always want to fly. He's got mana boots. He's trying to get his level 6 going. Those counter initiations are needed. If he would have had that, he would have TP'd top and helped out on the fight that just happened. Alchemist, close to having his Shadow Blade ready. In the meantime, mid lane is gonna have some trouble. In comes the roar. In comes the gank. Tame Wild slowed up. Telekinesis TP in from Jackal. Was enough to scare them off. The trap is still there. Tame Wild not yet done. Goes for Hester Joe. Hookshot in on Crit. As Hester Joe gets ensnared and killed. Crit is next. Will end up going down as well. Looking for the next target. Fish flying for his life. In comes the song. You can't run from that one. And Tame Wild already putting up shop with the meld. One hit. Is it gonna be a second one needed? Yep, there we go. That's a double kill going the way of Tame Wild. That's 3 dead for 0. And that all started out with a gank going the way of Tame Wild, but Tame Wild being close to tier 1 towers, everybody having his TP up, resulting into kills, resulting into a Blink Dagger, and it looks like a tier 1 tower to boot. That is TTD taking it back, getting extra gold to their name. Of course, they already won game number 1. They only need to win one more game live. They might be feeling a little bit extra pressure right now, which is something that you can't really... Like, you should not really feel extra pressure because that might cause you to make mistakes. But we have to take that into account. This could be their last game. They have got the Shadow Blade now up on the Alchemist though, as we saw him already stunning himself just now. Link has now got the potential to make a difference in the game. Is he going to be able to find the kills? Find the ganks? Time will tell. Mag getting himself some extra levels in the mid lane, now level 7. And considering he was up against an aggressive Trilane and he's now only 1 level away from the solo mid of his opponent team, that's a pretty good score. Jackal still building towards a BKB. He's got enough gold for his Mint Through Hammer. And he's already, I mean, he died twice. He's not doing amazingly well, but he's not that far behind. And we see it on the net worth. He is still 3rd highest. And actually the top 4 has got 3 of TTD as Link trying to run himself away. Pops the Chemical Rage. Now Tame Wild will be the target. In comes TPs also from Noya. There's a Sentry Ward there. He cannot escape. Refraction is off and the kill is done. Fish gets it and gets actually the dominating streak there as well. So a lot of extra gold going the way of Fish. Who'll now be able to, who now has 1k gold. Let's see what he buys with that. Only a TP scroll. So moderate. Needs to buy more wards perhaps, because there's only 2 up on the map. We've got one on the rune spot, on the top rune spot. We also got one still in the bottom lane. They of course used to try and make some extra plays on that clockwork that was there earlier. But it looks like we have got TTD announcing that officially that the laning phase is over. I mean, Clockwork has not shown himself on the top lane for a while. We've got everybody on different lanes. Jackal now rotating. He is going to be lucky because he finds himself a nice juicy stack of creeps. He was already back to 500 gold. Let's see if there's some ancient stacks for him as well. Nope. None. You have to be very careful though stacking ancients on a team where you know that your opponents can actually take them from you. And Alchemist, even though it's not the ideal target to take down stacks, but with help of a Nature's Prophet and of course Beastmaster with its axes, your opponent team can definitely take down an ancient stack by themselves. You have to be careful where you stack and how long you stack for. I mean, if you stack for 5 times but your opponent sees it, you're gonna be screwed. And even if they don't take your stack, they might be looking for a time where you're most vulnerable, because if you're taking that stack, they might be going for it. Oh, looking for a stun up on Mag. There we go. Mag can't do anything. Already picked up before the fight even starts. Will the fight actually still start with him? That is the question. Tame Wild has got that blink, could initiate. The tower still goes down. We just takes it. Jackal still has a call down. Looks like Life is the one to back off. Would be 3 versus 4 still, because Nature's Prophet is not yet there. I say not yet because he could be, but he rather wants to take down the tier 1 tower bottom. They want to exchange towers. In comes Tame Wild, blinked himself in, goes for Noya, 2-shot Noya! Tame Wild, can he go for another one? He does have that blink, 5 seconds, but a TP out is there first. And in the meantime, tower still lives in the bottom lane. No towers down at all on the side of TTD. Of course towers are low, fair enough. But none down. And we almost have 4 towers down on the side of Life themselves. This tower will be denied. That will be the 4th tower to go down. Call down. Mr. Joe, he really wants to get that deny. Hookshot in Mag. He wants to prevent that deny from happening. And as the Joe is the one to die, the tower will be taken down by TTD. 4 towers dead on the side of Life. And that is extra gold going the way of Jackal, who already had his BKB, now has an extra 800 gold to spare. And they are looking for a fight top where already Life is trying to take that tower. But they have to be so careful, because from the side, in comes Always Wanna Fly. He's got that song, and he can use it to set something up. Here we go. Link and Crit will be the targets, the only ones there. And I think that Life is just gonna sack them, is just gonna give them up for dead. One already down, Link first, Crit to follow, uses the stick charges, but it's only delay of execution. TTD, another 2 kills added to the board, still the tower stand, and a 5 heroes top. Let's see where they're going to. Of course, one thing that they can do also with this team very easily, they did, like previous game, we saw the visage of them picking up a Medallion of Courage to get that minus armor up on the Roshan. But they don't need that. They've got Meld from the Templar Assassin, they got Chen Creeps to take it. They could take that Roshan if they think they can't really push anymore. They don't have any wards up at the moment. Like none apart from the sentry ward on top that they used to try and make sure that Alchemist went down. But Roshan is an easy target for them. If there was a Medallion of Courage up on the side of Life, they could go for Roshan as well. But no Medallion of Courage for them just yet. We do have a mechanism close to being finished up on the Beastmaster. Beastmaster who's actually trying to TP himself out, but the Cogs will interrupt him and Tame Out Wild will take him down. There we go. Clean and easy kill. Beastmaster not able to help out his team on top either. I say that because 4 heroes came top for Life to try and defend their tier 2 tower, which they did. I mean, the tower's still standing, fair enough. Very low life. But they did force them back, but they weren't able to initiate a fight. The initiation is, oh, Life, Crit. Crit live? Nope, Crit telekinesis is there. It's again, he tries to juke it, but good luck to that one. There's a blink up again in 2 seconds. The trap will be there, the hookshot will be first, and one more hit. Tame Out Wild, killing spree again. He has been involved in 8 out of the 11 kills in this game so far, or on his team so far. And he's got 7 last hits for himself. Of those 8. He's only got 1 assist. Very selfish guy. But as a Templar Assassin, that's your job. That's your thing. Tame Out Wild is very much in his comfort zone right now. And he finds Hester Joe. Hester Joe, of course, has got his roar, but no mana to throw it out. Tame Out Wild still doesn't want to risk it and goes for an easier target instead, which is the Visage. Doesn't get the last hits though. Mag takes that one. Mag, who still goes for Force Staff, which is a good one, because I said at the start of the game that you might want to have, or you need to have that Force Staff. Because the only thing they can really do up against a very fat Alchemist is to lock him inside of Cogs. Or you can kill him off before he can do anything, that's fair enough. To this point, Tame Out Wild can definitely do that, but lock him inside of Cogs and then Clockwork to avoid himself from going down. He has to Force Staff himself out. So that's something that we're going to see him attempting to do if he actually gets a chance, because as this game goes on, I mean, the way this is going, TTD, they're looking to end this fairly fast. I mean, Hand of God being used, they're hanging around, cooldown comes in as well, in comes the kill, that's already Beastmaster dead before he could throw out a roar, stun being charged up by Link, finds Mag, that's a double stun but no damage to follow up on, Soul Assumption is the only thing they can throw out, another Fate Bolt coming in comes Noya, nice Sprout up on 2, locking in Tame Out Wild, another Soul Assumption, in comes the song, Always Wanna Fly, gets an Urn Charge as well, and they might be trying to go in. Tame Out Wild already setting up to take down a Visage, 1 hit, it's not enough. 30 HP left on the Visage, who will stick around to try and see if he gets some Soul Assumptions out. In comes a stun, ends up stunning himself. Link, not able to make something happen. Nobody dies on the side of TTD. 2 in the end, still dead on the side of Life. The tower still stands, but another fight won by TTD. And it is going from bad to worse for Life at the moment. Look at this gold graph, going to 10k in favor of terrible, terrible damage. Experience graph, 10k as well. I mean, it's pretty clear right now that TTD is the one that is getting ahead. Look at the hero levels to see that experience being reflected there. All 3 cores being higher than all 3 cores of Life. All 3 cores of TTD higher than of Life, that is. And the supports, of course, of TTD higher than those of Life as well. I mean, no support, no surprise there. The question is, what can Life do to turn this around? And they actually can do quite a bit, because they've got Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet is one of those heroes that can counter push very effectively, and he'll be able to counter push even more effectively once he finally gets himself the Shadow Blade. By the way, this is a Nature's Prophet that is not a Hand of Midas Nature's Prophet, which is not something that you normally see. Lately you only see Nature's Prophet with a Hand of Midas and getting ahead this way, but Noya doesn't have that. And he got shut down at the bottom lane. So he is, I mean, it's still Nature's Prophet. He still can get back up on the so-called horse, if you want to call it that way. But it's going slower than if you would have a Hand of Midas. He has now a Shadow Blade, so he will be able to split push and maybe try to make sure that TTD was get delayed. I mean, they definitely have the momentum right now, but you can interrupt that by just playing it safe and trying to farm wherever you can without dying, which is something that Link has to keep in mind. He has got the Shadow Blade as well, of course. So he feels sort of safe, but there is already Dust and TA, so the Shadow Blade doesn't keep him safe, but he needs extra damage. He's got 3,600 damage. Gold, rather. Not damage, that would be quite insane. Would be awesome, actually. But it looks like he might be going for old-fashioned Radiance Alchemist, which is very strong. Radiance got buffed. Refraction will be ticked off very fast. Templar Assassin, therefore not as strong. Of course, you already got the Acid Spray that will tick off the Refraction fairly fast as well. It's also overall a very good item to have. And of course also it interrupts Blink Dagger, which you want to have happen. Looks like Tamar Wild going for BKB, already has the Ogre Club ready. Bit more defensive than I thought Tamar Wild would build. I was kind of, oh, never mind. It's not a Radiance, it's also a BKB for Alchemist. Still no real damage coming out from him though. Now, that's something that they have to be worried about, perhaps. Depending on how well split pushing is going for the Nature's Prophet, of course. But yeah, I was kind of expecting no BKB for Tamar Wild, because it's normally, as I said earlier, I mean, he's a fairly aggressive player. I was hoping for a Desolator still, but oh well. Roshan is up. They waited for the BKB on TA, which is now complete. Courier is bringing it towards him. Let's see some of the other items. We already had the BKB up on Jackal. We saw that before. There's also building towards, I'm gonna assume an MKB. No Rapier at this point of the game. 22 minutes in rather. Nice cogs, making sure that nobody of life can get in. And this Roshan goes down very fast. They come in from the other side though, but they're gonna be in too late. They do have the vision. In comes the familiar stance. It's gonna be too late. The bird's already dead. In comes the ensnare. Cooldown. Visage already dead from a rocket barrage from the sidelines. Crit can't do anything. Zik gets a kill. Hookshot in up on the Beastmaster. Tries to get himself out, but I don't think he will be able to. There comes the song. Double damage up on the TA. Very scary sight. And that will be a dominating Tamar Wild. And Snare up on the Alchemist. Link being locked in position. And they know they can't do anything at this point. They call the GG. That means that is the 2-0. Terrible, terrible damage. Wins themselves this best of 3 for the semi-finals of the EIZO Cup. It is of course the 7th edition of the EIZO Cup. The grand finals will be taking place after both semi-finals are done, which were played at the same time. I have to say I don't know who won. It is of course KP that was taken on Empire in the other semi-finals, and the winner of that one will face terrible, terrible damage in the grand finals. You can find that game, that best of 3 on Join Dota Red, casted by Toby. And for me, stick around if you want to watch some commercials to support me, and otherwise have a good night. Of course, might be still playing some matchmaking, but I don't know for sure just yet. Thank you for watching regardless. And yeah, once again, sorry that I was by myself, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you want to follow me, support me, like me, whatever, you can do that on everything that is Shiver Gaming. So that is twitter.com/ShiverGaming, twitch.tv/ShiverGaming, facebook.com/ShiverGaming, youtube.com/ShiverGaming, you name it, it's there. Apart from VK, I don't have a VK thing. Anyways, thank you for watching, and see you in a bit.